So, a week ago, I was in big trouble. You're laughing, maybe because you know me. I don't know why you're laughing, but that's okay. You see, a week ago, I knew that a week from then, I'd be here talking to you. And this is my life. And so for me, I start thinking about what I'm going to say the next Sunday, about 1 minute after we stop singing Let There Be Peace. And it wasn't because I didn't have anything to say. You know me better than that. It was because I had too much to say. You see, I have a phone full of little notes I leave and voicemails that I leave myself. I call myself because that's what I do. And I have a journal full of stuff and I've got so much I want to say. It's almost like there's a wave crashing over me because there's so much that I want to say and do and think about and so much I want to share. This is my life and I am in love with this. And so it's hard to know where to start. It's hard to know how to take a breath. And I was on my way home from church and I really felt like I was in trouble. And I closed my eyes. I was at a stoplight. I closed my eyes. Don't worry. And I said, God, I just need a sign. And I opened my eyes and this really happened. I opened my eyes and there was a pickup truck in the next lane, and on the back window of the pickup truck there was a sticker, and it was, one of those yellow diamond road signs, and it said that. It said, "This is a good sign." It really happened. And I said, all right, God, I got it. I got it that you got it. This is important. I did not manifest that truck. I didn't make the truck happen. That's not my job in the universe. I didn't give birth to a pickup truck. Man, that would hurt. Don't think about it. I didn't make that happen, and this is a big deal. Instead, what I made happen was I let myself get out of the way of my stuff. I opened my eyes to what was already there. This is important because that is how signs work. This is a big deal because so many people are so hungry for some kind of message, some kind of validation, some kind of permission, some kind of something. You see, God doesn't make robots. Wouldn't that be cool if God could just make you do stuff and make you be nice and control everything? Some people pray that prayer, God, please use the puppet strings and make me be good and make those other people be good. Doesn't work that way. God doesn't make robots. God can't make you do anything. But instead, each and every person is born with a call, born with a yearning, born with a burning desire to be good, to experience love, to grow. God doesn't make us do anything, but God puts the desire in our hearts to do everything. Each and every person, I don't care where you've been, I know this about you. Each and every person is born with that call. And some people say, okay, I got this call. What do I do about it? How do I know what's right? Where is the sign? What do I do? Some people don't know that that's why they feel that way. Some people do know, but they don't do anything about it because they're afraid. What if I'm wrong? I want to follow this desire in my heart, but what if I'm wrong? Well, guess what? You ready for this? People are wrong all the time. All you have to do is be right one more time than you're wrong and you're fine. Every hero, every revolutionary, every inventor, every rock star, every genius is wrong all the time. It's okay to be wrong because God loves you and we're made out of love, and there is this amazing safety net. Give yourself permission. Yeah. People say, I don't want to follow my heart because what if I'm alone? Well, guess what? There's one presence and one power. Wherever you go, you are surrounded by your brothers and sisters. You couldn't be alone if you tried. We are all in this together. So let's let that go. People are looking for signs. I'm here to tell you that the sign is every moment, every breath, every beat of your heart. People are looking for signs, and I'm here to tell you that God is here. And the sign is here. It's less about the signs and more about my receptivity to what is already going on. I want to quote to you the gospel of the Family Guy, and maybe I'm the only person that watches that, but there's that episode where Peter, just like the disciple, Peter, he's got his video camera out and he's supposed to be filming one thing, but he notices that there's a garbage bag blowing in the breeze, and he has that American Beauty moment, and he says, I just feel like God is talking to me, just letting me know that everything's okay, and this bag is just doing this dance for me, and I just feel like this is a sign. And in the cartoon, God appears and he says, do you have any idea how complicated your circulatory system is? And you're looking at a garbage bag. The point is, you're the point. The point is, there is amazing complexity and beauty and support and love in every moment. My friends, the sign has come right now. Some people say, I'm not going to do the thing that I want to do because I want to make sure I'm going to be completely validated. I want to make sure that everything is going to be completely okay. What in the world works like that? Honestly, I want to make sure that every single thing is going to work out. Well, that doesn't sound like faith. That sounds like fear. And if we're going to make a difference in the world, we need to move out of fear and into faith. Yeah. There are people that say to me, we want to have kids, but we're going to wait until we have just the right amount of money before we start a family. Are there any parents in the crowd? Did you ever have the right amount of money? My children are grown, and I'm sorry, they are very expensive still. There is never the right amount of money, but the good news is the kids are what the money is for. You know what I mean? The kids are what the money is for. There is never going to be a right time, a right set of circumstances outside of ourselves, because we are here to make it right. That's how this works. Let us not be the kind of people that need to have our ego validated by every single moment, because the beautiful things happen when we don't know. Can you make room for that? Can you make room for not knowing? Can you make room for somebody else having a better idea? It's a little bit dysfunctional to decide that the point of life is for me to impart my will upon God. God, here is how it's going to go. Yeah, I know you got ideas, but here's how it's going to go. Here is how the universe is going to go. Here's how the planets are going to turn. Here is how the blood vessels are going to do their blood vessel thing. I have a better idea than you. That's a little crazy. It's a little bit dysfunctional to have that idea that I am alone in all of this and my job is just to sort of make stuff happen. What do you make happen? The universe is not a matter of me forcing it. The universe is a matter of me blessing it. And that is an important difference. One way or another, though, whether I'm get all caught up in my ego stuff or not, the universe will remind me. That prodigal son story is a great story about how the universe will up the volume a little bit and a little bit and a little bit until you hear it. So you know what? I'm okay with that. One way or another, easy way or hard way, everybody grows. One way or another, easy way or hard way, everybody knows. If there is one presence and one power, if there's just God, if God doesn't change his mind, in Lessons in Truth we read that the sun doesn't just give dark sometimes. It only gives light. And God just loves. I say it all the time because it's true all the time. And the reason that that's important is if God doesn't change God's mind about you, it really means that the sign is always the same sign. Be good. Get your ego out of the way. Here's the test. Does the sign I'm looking for validate what I already think? Or does it challenge me to get out of the way? Because that same ego that puts it out there that says, here's what I want to have happen, is the same ego that's going to interpret the sign. One time I knew this lady who was in a really yucky relationship. It wasn't dangerous or anything. It was just a bummer. You know what I mean? They made each other cry all the time. It was no good. They were no good for each other. The chemistry was bad. It was just yucky. Pardon my French. And me and the other people who loved this person said, you guys, we love you both, but you're not good for each other. Maybe you could come up with a different way. Maybe you could, move on. Do people ever listen to that? And one day, we were all gathered around, all of us friends, and she said, I've been thinking about this relationship, and I had this dream. It was a dream of a door, and the door was open, and outside there was all of these beautiful things, and all of us were kind of, ooh, here it comes. It's going to happen. She's going to do what we wanted her to do. And she said, and I just knew that I needed to stay in this relationship. There's one message. The message is, be good. Be the love that you are made out of and get out of the way. Because everything that happens is blessed by us listening, blessed by us blessing. When I'm in trouble, the last thing I need is more of my own stuff. Over and over again, we know this. Over and over again, there's a desire to get back to what's simple and what's true. We did Family Guy, and so I want to do the next logical thing, which is, of course, to quote Shakespeare. There's this part from As You Like It, Act 2, Scene 1. And it's about getting out of the way. It goes like this. And this our life exempt from public haunt finds tongues in trees, books in the running brooks, sermons in stones, and good in everything. I would not change it. And what that means is if you want to get your message, if you want to hear your sign, if you want to hear the books and the running brooks and the sermons and stones, get to a place where you can be quiet. The call is to go into the wilderness. Whether or not you desire to go out into the woods, what I'm telling you is get to the wilderness of your heart. Get to that place where you don't know. And that's where the magic happens. That's where you'll get the sign. A long time ago, my son Miles was on the swim team. And I'm not the least bit biased when I tell you that he was brilliant. He was amazing. He was so fast and so athletic and so magnificent. And I was not jealous at all, not competitive at all as a dad. And one day he said, Dad, I'm going to take you swimming. And I said, sure, little one. At that time, he was shorter than me. And at that time, I was running marathons, and I was no stranger to the treadmill, and I knew what was up, and I was not concerned about this. We got out there and we started swimming, and he was showing me different strokes, and not the show, the thing you do in the pool. And he was doing that stuff, and I was diving, and I was swimming, and I was treading water, and I was doing things, and I was getting tired. And I could not show my son this. Come on, let's do it again. Let's do this other thing. And sooner or later, I got to the middle of this very deep pool where my feet did not touch water. Did not touch ground, rather. They touched a lot of water. And I realized that I was in trouble. Do you know that moment? I was tired. I couldn't swim anymore. And there's my son standing on the edge, and I don't want him to know. And I'm starting to really worry. I cannot swim anymore. I can't do this. And I'm kind of treading water, and it's getting scary to me. And I can't remember, is there a lifeguard or not? And do I want the lifeguard or not? And I don't know, and I'm scared. And maybe I can get Miles to come pick me up, but he's smaller than I am, and he's not a lifeguard. And maybe I'll drag him down, and that's terrible. And what am I going to do? And this is it. You ever get to that moment where this is it? I finally let go. And in that moment, a voice came to me. In that swim lane, right in the middle. The voice was my son. He said, Dad, you know there's a rope like a foot from your hand. You see there them floaty things? And yeah, you know. Was that a sign? Of course it was a sign, because the purpose of the sign is never to validate what you want. The purpose of the sign is to get out of the way. Always. Some people say that I'm going to make God do what I want, make the universe bend to my will, and I say, you're exercising the wrong muscle. Life is about blessing. The sign is here. There's something that you want to do. There's a passion in your heart, a calling that you want to follow. Do you need my permission? You have my permission. But better than that, you want a sign? You are the sign. That calling in your heart is proof that the divine is calling you, and that is all you need. Be good. Be love. And get out of the way. Set everything else free. Because after all, freedom is a choice. Thank you.